Interviews with business owners and veteran executives who share their wisdom and expertise to help you de-stress, free up time, and make more money. Profits of IT. Welcome back to the Profits of IT. I am Jim Punzenberger, your host, and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. If you're looking to generate new clients or partners without cold calling, ad spend, or spamming, be sure to check out managedprospectingsystem.com. And I got the special edition of the Profits of IT today. Normally we talk about success, but today the topic's going to be ChatGPT. And I have Steve Kazan here of the Inner Onion. Steve has been in the industry a long time and been appearing on Profits of IT previously. And so today we're going to have a discussion about this topic that is burning up Facebook and all other social medias called ChatGPT. So Steve, please say hi to the audience and maybe tell us what got you interested in ChatGPT.
Jim, thanks so much. It's great to be here. It's great to start off the new year with you on this podcast. I think a year ago we did the Christmas special, and we had lights and all, which was fun. But every year I use the Christmas holidays as a kind of way to reflect and think about what we've gone through and then what we're planning for next year. And part of my background has always been in technology, and I need to keep up with technology, both for my own curiosity, but also for my clients. So Inner Onion is a consulting firm, small place that provides guidance and advice for startup companies, scale-up companies, both internationally and domestic, around partnerships and channels. And so for this Christmas, I saw some posts on LinkedIn about ChatGPT and tried it out. And I am the guy just across the chasm. I am not the early adopter when it comes to technology. I am not the programmer, the coding. I had in college tried to take a programming class and failed miserably. But once technology hits mainstream, I'm the key indicator. I'm the canary in the coal mine that a technology is finally easy enough for any bonehead to use it. And so ChatGPT, I think, is there. I think it's crossed that chasm, and it's now easy enough for the layman to use.
Yeah, so I guess to start out with, what does ChatGPT do?
Well, so it's defined as a chatbot. So you ask a question of it, and it gives you an automated response. You go to a lot of websites and you see in the lower corner of the website a little chat area, and you ask a question, it figures out a standard canned answer to give you. Now, what's more interesting about ChatGPT is it's more intelligent, right? So you can ask it more difficult questions, more specific questions, and it will come back with an answer that is based on the question that you ask. So one of the experiments I did was I asked it a question: generate me a partner plan, because that's what we do for a living. And what I did was I then looked at its response and I analyzed its response to look at the pros and the cons of ChatGPT and figure out where it was adding value, but also kind of where it fell short and where people need to be aware of what it can and what it cannot do, in terms of the channel, but also just in terms of general business questions and topics that you ask it. I'm not a programmer, but if you are a programmer, you can ask it, hey, please code me this set of functions or features, and boom, it's going to spit back code for you. If you're a designer, there's a corollary product that will allow you to create images that you want. And that was a lot of fun. I played around with that to generate logos and pictures and images. And if you've got little kids around that are bored, get them on that, that particular product, and let them go nuts creating different images. But back to ChatGPT. It is a product that you ask a question to, so it's not like most of my Google queries, which are 1 or 2 word questions. You can ask it long sentences and specific sentences, and it will do its best to come back with, a detailed response.
So can it write like, oh, I'm a marketer and I need things for marketing. Like, can it create a brochure for me, or can it create a website for me, or can it? What kind of things can and can't it do?
All right. So yeah, you're a marketer. You need to put on a webinar. You can say, how should I put on a webinar? And ChatGPT will come back with 5 to 10 steps of here's what you need to do to put on the webinar. You need to run an advertising campaign. You need to run a branding campaign. Those are kinds of things you might want to put in there. If you are an IT person or an IT executive or a manager of people, you can ask it HR related questions. You can say, how should I discipline or how should I mentor my employee who's got XYZ characteristic? From a channel perspective, we put in, I want to partner with a managed service provider, or I want to partner in the cell phone industry, or again, you can do it very, very detailed. There's actually an ad on LinkedIn that Ryan Reynolds does where he says, please write me an ad for this cell phone in the voice of Ryan Reynolds. And it spits back some kind of, humorous response. And he basically, at the end of it, says, yeah, that sounds like me. So anyway, let me dig a little bit into the channel plan and how we did that, because I was curious to see how it would respond and how accurate it would be. And so I asked it very specifically, and I think asking the right question is going to be a very important skill set.
So basically, you need to still be smart enough to ask it the right question. Correct?
I think that's a general business skill. Everyone at the start of any planning process or a strategy process needs to sit back and say, are we asking the right questions? Right? Peter Drucker in his management books, their first 3 chapters are you asking the right questions? And I'll never forget that from the college days.
I've seen articles on or headlines, and I think it's primarily just clickbait that ChatGPT is gonna take my job or take your job, or we're gonna be unemployed because of ChatGPT. Do you think that's
I've seen.
You think that's
they're sowing fear, right? But I think that it's today generic enough so that it's not producing content plans that are as good or should be as good as professionals are doing, right? So it's a starting point. It will definitely save you time because it'll generate the text and the copy, but you need to go above and beyond what ChatGPT provides. And whether that's, human resource management or marketing, lead generation process,
coding,
you need to be more specific than what it's spitting out to clients. Now, where it might impact people is instead of hiring an outside agency to do PR or lead gen or whatever, they may say, oh, I can just go to ChatGPT and plug in, how do you do X, Y, and Z? And it'll tell you, how to do it. And I think people may fall into that trap by saying, here's a generic way to do something. But what they're missing is the experience and the expertise of that business person and consultant that they're able to add to that process. So in terms of the channel plan.
Yeah, how does this relate specifically to the channel? And channel plan is what I was just about to ask. I think you took the words out of my mouth.
Oh, okay, great. So when I first did ask the question, I wrote it, typed it in. I tried to be as specific as I could. I wanted technology companies. I wanted startup companies. I wanted partner plan as opposed to channel plan, because what I was looking for is, does it understand the different types of partners? And would it tell me the different types of partners? So I typed that in, I hit return, and the first thing it gave me was kind of an email template that I could send out to somebody to say, we want you to be a partner. But it was, again, relatively generic, but it would have saved me some time. So if I'm generating an email and I'm sending it to a prospective partner, I could have gone up there, typed in that question, hit return. It would have spit out the text. I could have copied and pasted the text into an email. I could have edited the email a little bit, put my name at the bottom and pressed send. And it probably would have gotten me 60 to 70% of the way there, maybe less, but I would definitely have needed to make that message personal, make it specific. So that's one of the things it lacked. The second thing it lacked was any sort of competition. So the response it sent back didn't really think about who are the competitors, both for the vendor and the competitors for the partner, and what, how to address them and how to research them. So, a little weak on competitors, a little weak on partner types. And when I put the word startup in there, I was kind of hoping it would tell me something about, how startups sometimes struggle, how sometimes they're definitely smaller, they're challengers in the marketplace. And again, it sort of skipped and jumped over that. So if a human is taking their text, we would have to add that flavor to that plan. All in all, I would say, it was a good starting point. It was a good outline, but, generally speaking, it was definitely missing any specifics about who the client company was, who the technology was, and kind of the marketplace, the nuances of the marketplace. So, it was cool. It was worth it. I'd like to try it, keep trying it.
So what's the bottom line if you're maybe in the channel, or maybe you're a channel vendor, maybe you're an MSP or the like of a similar IT company? What's the bottom line when it comes to ChatGPT?
I would say I don't think it's going to take jobs of people who have expertise and experience in certain areas. But I would say people should, one, use it as a tool and learn how to use it as a tool, because it will differentiate skill sets. So it'll make me more efficient. It'll make me potentially a little smarter. But you still need to research and read and talk to people and get smarter on the topics that you are working in. So if you're a marketing person or PR person, yes, you need to use ChatGPT because it's going to save you a lot of time. But also you need to be smarter than it is and be able to add more value and compete with people who are just slinging ChatGPT copy at people. So in a way, the word is, you better get your game, up to speed. Now, let's shift gears a little bit. You and I saw that message about Microsoft coming in and making that big investment. And there were a couple of things that were really interesting about that. One of them was Microsoft bought 49%. So Microsoft still doesn't have controlling interest.
Right.
So, which is kind of a good thing, because it means that Microsoft won't go in there and, kind of put in their own management, make all their changes, do all that. So that was kind of pretty interesting. And other partners can come in and make partnerships with, OpenAI, the parent company, and ChatGPT, the product line. So that was one thing that was pretty interesting. The other thing that was interesting is the integration with Word and PowerPoint. I'm not sure about Excel. Yeah, basically the Office suite. So just think about that. You need a Word document. What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to open up your Word document, which is going to be either Office 365 online or it's going to be on your laptop. You're going to say, oh, I need I don't know what, a menu for dinner for Friday night.
Yeah.
Key it in. Do. Menu for dinner. We're having fish because it's Friday. Boom. ChatGPT is going to spit out, this is what you want for dinner. And it'll do that all for you. So I'm thinking that's going to be pretty cool. And then the image part of the product from OpenAI, that's just so easy to connect to PowerPoint, right?
Mhm.
I need a logo of a fish or a bear with purple hair standing in front of a waterfall and, playing golf.
Yeah.
Type that in, boom, 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 boom. 30 seconds later, you get 4 images of exactly that. And if you want it in Van Gogh style versus Picasso style, sure enough, it's going to generate, that image for you. So for designers, if I'm a graphic designer, I'm a little bit more worried because it makes graphic design, that much easier.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we'll see what Microsoft does. And then I think your point was really good in that if you take all that volume of ChatGPT and the other products they sell, and you load it all on their Azure servers, all of a sudden you have huge capacity requirements, but also you're going to scale all those data centers and all that hardware and all that infrastructure that Microsoft can provide. And the one stat I read was that there were like 1 million people sign up in the first couple of weeks, which doesn't surprise me actually, because to sign up and to use the system, like I said,
When
even
it doesn't cost you anything, it's a simple. It's advantageous to sign up.
yeah, I think it is definitely advantageous to play around and to get used to it. The other big question is whether this is a Google killer and how Google is going to react. So, we'll sort of see. Google has not had really any competition in the search engine space. And Google actually has this technology that is able to provide detailed responses, but for whatever reason, either hasn't launched it or its users haven't taken advantage of it. So, yeah, I mean, for 2023, as we look ahead for the year, I think this is going to be a big deal. And December, if you and I get together for the Christmas show next December, we can look back and we can say, yeah, we called it. We said ChatGPT was going to take over.
So any final thoughts? Regarding
No,
ChatGPT?
I think, I'm excited about playing around with it. I'm excited about, trying it out with my clients, getting them to try it out. I think if startup companies that don't have enough people and don't have enough resources and there's too many hours in the day can leverage ChatGPT to do more work and to increase their capacity, it could be a fantastic tool for them. I mean, the Gartners of the world have been projecting that AI would be a huge productivity shift.
Mm-hmm.
The same way the PC was a productivity shift in the 70s and 80s, the same way that laptops and mobile devices were big shifts in the 90s and the 2000s. They're claiming that AI is going to make creation of documents and work just that much more faster and easier and quicker.
Mm-hmm. Be more efficient. You'll be able to do more.
Yeah. So Jim, what do you think?
I think it's gonna. I definitely think that ChatGPT is here to stay, and that I've played around with it myself a little bit. I think that it is going to make people more efficient. don't necessarily think that it's going to replace people's jobs.
Yeah.
And
It'll be interesting to see on LinkedIn how many people just throw ChatGPT posts instead of writing their own posts and throwing them up there. So we'll have to see.
Be interesting if you get the same result. Like, I'm curious to see is ChatGPT going to provide the same results? Like I ask it, how to write a partner presentation, and you ask it how to write a partner presentation. Is it going to give us both the same results, or is it going to be different for what it says? I wonder. That's like, I'm curious to see if ChatGPT will render the same results, and or if they change over time too, as I assume that the ChatGPT is like continuing to learn itself. So if
Great point.
like if I ask it today how to create a partner presentation, and now I come back again in 6 months and ask it how to create a partner presentation, will those answers be the same?
Yeah, I mean, is it going to learn to reflect our personal questions and our personal business,
Yes.
right? Is it going to know enough about me inside my account to learn more and customize more the responses that it gives back? So maybe you're right. There's an experiment to be run there. You and I run the same queries or different queries, slightly different queries, and see if the system adjusts itself. So
I guess these will be interesting things to find out in the months and
yeah,
years
very
to
much
come.
so.
So
Great.
I'm also thinking that my theory is they're currently restricting. I don't. Well, they currently say it's they're at capacity. That's been a late thing of the last few days. Of we're now at capacity, and my theory is that they got truckloads of money from Microsoft, and if it was really truly about beta testing, they would just go in their Azure account and add some more compute, add some more capacity, and there wouldn't be ChatGPT is at capacity. I think it's really about a go-to-market strategy and creating scarcity is my theory, and that they're about to actually start offering a paid version of it, and by the signing up for the paid version of it, there won't be any capacity won't be limited anymore, is my theory. And it's going to be a brilliant, they're going to get my thought is it's going to be a brilliant go-to-market strategy that gets them millions of users in a short period of time.
Yeah, I think your scarcity, artificial scarcity or generation of scarcity, classic marketing strategy model. When you have a product that is well known and well used, I will be really curious to see how they monetize it. I think you're right. They want to get people kind of sucked in a little bit, and then willing to pay for the functions and the features. I mean, if they charge me $1 a query, would I pay $1 a query? I don't know, but I might pay 50 cents a query.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about how many hours it's going to save,
right?
Then
if you pay $1, but you save an hour.
Yeah, you save an hour and your hour is worth $100 or $200 an hour, then right. So if they could monetize that, I guess that's the question of what their pricing is going to look like when it comes out.
Only
Microsoft and OpenAI know for sure.
Yes, they only know for sure right now. Well, they only know what their strategy is right now, and if it works or not, we will have to talk about that in future episodes. So
yeah, I guess I would close by saying, hey, if there are ChatGPT fans or skeptics out there, reach out to us. Right, I want to hear. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. Reach out to me at inneronion.com. hey, let's have this conversation of how to use this tool as a tool, and not as a club over somebody's head, I guess.
Yeah, feel free to comment below wherever this video is that you're consuming it, and keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for
well,
the
Steve,
invite.
thank you for coming on today and having this fun conversation about ChatGPT.
Oh, you're very welcome. It was great to be here. Great to see you. Thanks, Jim.
Until next time on the Profits of IT, I am Jim Punzenberger, your host and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. Be sure to check out managedprospectingsystem.com. Thank you for tuning in to the Profits of IT. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and share.